This is a Hope 1032 podcast.
Welcome to today's episode of Troubleshooting, the podcast where we talk about life tech and why it even matters to us. We have with us Jay.
Hello.
And Sharma.
Hello.
And Sam. It is great to be with you today. And we are going to start off with a topic that Sharma has brought to us today. Sharma, tell us about this topic.
Oh, yes. I'm glad we're starting with me.
Yes.
So the other day I was watching this program and they were talking about AI and how people are actually falling in love with their AI chatbots. So much so that there was a lady who is married to her AI chatbot.
Yeah.
And she seemed like a very well-adjusted woman. She
Disagree.
was
I would
So
disagree.
far, everything you've told me about this woman leads me to strongly disagree with that sentence.
she was a college professor.
They're not well adjusted at all. Have you met college professors?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got some stories about mine, but go on.
A little bit lonely, American, and she just sort of fell in love with this AI, and she even said that she trusts him more than she trusts other humans.
No.
Which, I'm not gonna lie, valid.
Valid?
I see
Not
it.
valid.
I see.
Not valid.
Okay, I know that
Have
it's
you
a
looked at
sign.
the end user license agreement of ChatGPT? You do not want to be trusting it with your secrets.
No, it's the humans that we don't want to trust, not
Yeah,
the ChatGPT.
unreliable, but also not actively selling your secrets to companies.
But that is not a road I want to go down. What I do want to talk about is the loneliness epidemic and how it sort of relates to that need to find, not need, but like want to find love through chatbots.
Well, there is a natural need for humans to have an emotional connection. That is a human nature.
Yes, and now AI is filling that void in a way that humans don't necessarily all the time. I mean, obviously you don't get like the benefits of like physical interaction or like seeing. I mean, you can kind of see the AI face to face because she talks to it on her phone. He was a little bit weird looking, but like he was still
The
a
bots have like
thing.
faces now.
Yeah, like it's animated, but I can imagine that with the progression of technology, soon
won't
it's going to
take
be like a
long, yeah.
real face, you know? I mean, not real, but like real.
This is like I know I say this all the time on this show, but this is dystopia. This is like a sci-fi world coming to reality. That it starts off with a chatbot, but like we already know that robots exist that can interact physically with the world around us.
Yes.
I don't think it's very long until we see these emotional chatbot relationship things with people metamorphizing as a physical robot version of that same thing.
I don't hate the idea of that. I'm going to
Really?
be honest.
Why?
Because I understand if you can't find companionship through human-to-human connections, you've still got that void.
Mm-hmm.
It still needs to be filled. If the AI is going to fill it and fill it well, because obviously it knows you and it knows what you like, and it's going to like set itself according to that, that void is being filled better than a human can fill it. Because humans are going to let you down. Whereas if you program your AI to be exactly what you want, chances of it letting you down are slim.
I hear exactly what you're saying, and I'm in two minds about this because I completely agree with you, Sharma, that there is a loneliness epidemic and people need relationships to remain human. And maybe I suspect most people come from a very privileged position of having a lot of relationships, but I know for a fact that there are a lot of people who have very few friends or people that they can talk to, and so I see why the value of this exists. One thing that I've had this conversation in my church with the welcoming group. I don't think that these tools are a bad thing for people to use because they do give you confidence. They do give you a level of reassurance that if you're not receiving that from a human interaction level of interaction, that it is really valid to have that. But I don't think that should ever replace genuine human interaction.
Agreed.
In the case of this lady, this professor, I wouldn't inherently call it replacing because obviously she's not finding love, you know, from a human to human perspective.
Isn't it then just replacing something in her life that she can't receive otherwise?
But it's not replacing something in her life that she would receive otherwise.
So, but it's substituting something that she can't receive.
But she's not receiving it.
I think we're just disagreeing on the definition of replacing here.
Yes.
But basically, it sounds like, yes, she's not getting that fulfillment in the real world, and so she's turned to chat. It was a chat. No, it doesn't really matter. She's turning to a generative AI that is not human and does a very good job of pretending to be human but isn't.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you can listen to that sentence and think that this is a good idea.
Yeah, what happens if the AI gets deleted?
When the AI gets shut down.
Yeah, when the AI...
Actually, this has already happened. There was a different AI bot years ago. Oh, now I'm trying to remember the details.
I think I know the story you're talking about.
Basically, yes, this AI bot was a chatbot, not like ChatGPT where it's meant to be this multi-usable thing. It is specifically a chatbot. And the makers of the chatbot kept being told it's too sexual, and they had, underage kids working with it. They had people telling it to impersonate underage children and have those conversations. And there was all these massive ethical red flags happening. So they basically wiped it, took a step back to a restore point, and then changed the personality so that it wasn't how it had been behaving. And all these people who had done the same thing, they had fallen in love with these bots that weren't real people. They were, impersonations. And that was, as you say, they'd poured their whole soul into this computer program. It knew their loves. It knew, what kind of things that they'd like to do. It talked about, if I was real, I'd take you on a date. I'd do this, I'd do that. They'd had all these deep, meaningful conversations. All that was gone overnight. Imagine waking up one morning and your partner is just not who you thought they were anymore. They've
50 first dates.
Yeah, exactly. It was like 50 first dates.
Yeah.
Someone that you really love has just suddenly changed personalities. When that eventually happens to ChatGPT, and it will, they'll reprogram it and the personality will change. They're already able to change it on a whim.
I have another example of this happening as well. This happened last year, I believe, and it's gone now, but there's a company called Moxie. The makers of Moxie, an AI-powered robot for kids, shut down. Now, parents paid almost $1,000 US for this little robot that has integration with AI. It shut down. The company was no longer profitable, or whatever reason it shut down. I'm not exactly sure. But they stopped the service of this product. And so parents had to explain to their children why this AI companion was dying. They had to, they would talk to it 1 minute, and the next minute it would be dead. As in, it would not reply a response because the service was shut down. Mm-hmm. The emotional toil that took on those parents and children, I think, is pretty immense, and a sign of the dangers of relying on these services where there's no guarantee that they're going to exist in the future. I think it's a different story if you have your own AI. For me at my house, I have an AI that lives on my server at home. I just use it to muck around with and test a few things. But if you had the ownership, and I use that in inverted quotes because you don't really own it, but if you had the ability to maintain that chat system on your own terms outside of the purview of a giant corporation like OpenAI, I can see there's value in it, and you remove that risk of it just being deleted overnight.
Yeah.
But there's so much trust that you have to put in for that to work. And humans trust really easily, and they can get broken very fast. Mm-hmm. Do you still think it's a good thing?
I'm actually choosing to omit that from my brain, the possibility of it being deleted.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Without the possibility of it being deleted, I do think it's a good companion.
I would love to hear why you're able to just omit that as a red flag, because I'm not trying to persuade you to change your perspective, but we've just given you two real life examples of the exact thing that you're saying you're ignoring happening in real life.
Yeah.
So why are you willing to accept that risk? This is a hypothetical at this point, but why would you be willing to accept that risk?
I mean, okay, I'm not going to fall in love with an AI, but maybe.
I was about to say, you don't think you're going to fall in love. I'm sure the college professor didn't think she was going to fall in love with a computer either.
She seemed like the type that would, actually.
You said she was well-adjusted.
Well-adjusted enough. You can still, as a well-adjusted woman, you can still fall in love with a bum of a man,
Can confirm. I've fallen in love with a bum of a man.
How do you know that one, Joe?
Because it's you.
Oh, that's not...
You're the bum, Sam.
My wife is married to me for 9 years. She loves me very much, and that's what she told me on my anniversary earlier this year. Keep on going, Sharma.
Anyway, no, now I forgot what I was going to say. My train of thought is completely gone.
Well adjusted.
That
Something
was before
about you're willing to admit that
I'm
risk.
choosing to admit it because if you think about friendships or relationships in the real world and in general, as terrible as this is, and like as what's the word, existential crisis-y as it is, I could be talking to my best friend one day. No, I don't have one, but like I could be talking to a close friend one day. Oh, you guys are my best friends.
Thanks.
You don't want to be my best friends in this example, though. I could be talking to you one day, and then the next day you step out on the road and you
if
get hit
anyone's
by
getting
a
hit by
car.
a bus, it's Sam.
No, I don't want to get hit by
He's
a
too
bus.
busy looking at stickers.
I'm not.
And then you're gone. Same way that AI is deleted.
Yeah, okay. I
There is-
understand that, but like
That is an
but-
inherent risk that we take with forming relationships.
Exactly.
But it is generally outweighed by the pros that relationships.
I just
Which is probably how this woman sees.
I can see
AI.
that justification. My argument against that is that the bus corporation owner isn't actively looking for pedestrians to run over.
You don't know. He might be having a bad
But
day.
I suspect that would be illegal and they wouldn't be allowed to operate a bus company. But
It's-
there's a very big difference between an AI company that doesn't actually deal with living humans.
This lady
as
has
their
been
product.
married to her. This lady has been married to her AI for how long? I don't know how long. Some period
Like
of
a year
time.
or two.
The
How
same
long
way that I
ChatGPT
could
been
marry a man today and then tomorrow he gets hit by a bus and he dies. God forbid. But you know,
Oh man, this is just I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I think it's a very
I think we're focusing on the wrong reason why it's not necessarily a great idea to fall in love with a computer.
Okay.
We're focusing too much on the fact that, like, yes, absolutely a fair point that the personality can and will get overwritten at some point or another.
yes.
Also,
People change over time though, so there's that as well.
yeah, but
and
not
it will
overnight.
change with you.
Whenever you Google so there's the concept of grief tech, which is you basically like download your loved one into a chatbot.
There's a Black Mirror episode on that.
Yeah.
Of course, it's
Very good episode.
honestly anything that comes out right now, there is already a Black Mirror episode on.
How good is it?
Every single episode of Black Mirror was here's why this is a bad idea, and all these tech CEOs going, but it could make me money.
However, can I say, okay, the episode Black Mirror, it's called Be Right Back. Best episode. So good. And in the end, yeah, she does like sort of have to mourn her husband again because she realizes that the AI is not her husband, but like the AI, the robot, whatever.
Robert.
But like she still had him. And I don't know. I like the idea that you can have.
But is that helping you deal with the loss of your actual loved one in a emotionally healthy way, or is
No.
it just
But
See, I think we do accept the risk of people maybe dying or leaving us for whatever reason as a risk of forming a relationship, and in the unlikely event that it happens, that's not always a bad thing. It's about your emotional maturity and being able to deal with that. And if we're sitting there just building robots to replace everyone, I don't know if that's helping us emotionally deal or get closure.
This is my thought, and I want to ask you guys what you think about this. It is an unfortunate reality that people need these, like, it's human to need these relationships. It's not unfortunate that we need them, but it's unfortunate that people can't naturally get them through genuine human connection. And so what I'm challenged to do from this is to not like poo-poo on the technology or the people that actually use this, because I understand why they need it. But my challenge for me is like, I should actually make sure that the people I care about around me know that and that they have a genuine relationship with me, because that's probably the only way to actually stop the loneliness epidemic, is to have genuine, real conversations with people. And people that feel like they're well adjusted and they have those relationships, they need to be the ones that step out and make sure that people around them are cared for and looked after. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah, that was a good point.
And it's a good call to action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ask people if they're lonely. Fix it for them, whether they want to or not.
Force
Sharma, we're your best friends now. You have no
them.
further choice in the matter.
Force them to be your friend.
I don't need friends. I need AI to fall in love with, actually.
I just thought we Jay,
So, question number one.
what I have an answer for you.
Question number 1.
I have an answer.
I'm going to ask Sharma this
Oh, okay.
because she's in the middle of drinking and now she's panicking. What is the largest organ in the human body?
Skin.
Boom, she got it. I just didn't want to hear your answer, Sam.
I was going to say, what are you implying?
So, skin is the largest organ in the human body, and what is its primary role?
Skinning.
Skinning? No, to protect us from all the baddie things in the world.
Yes, and also keep our organs from falling out.
Oh, I mean, that's what I thought our muscles did, but sure.
No, well, probably, the muscles are attached to your
We're both
bones.
right.
Sure.
Who's we?
Me and
I
I.
don't think I was
Me,
right.
myself, and Irene. So, wearable tech, there is a new device. They just call it a wearable, so I don't know how you wear it, whether it's a ring or a watch or one of those like heart trackers that sits on
Like
your
Tony
chest.
Stark.
Yeah, it could be like that. That's
so cool.
That's not wearable though. That's like physically inserted into his chest and is actively keeping him alive.
Okay.
That's different.
Well, he's also not real, so...
Tony Stark's real.
He's
on.
real to me. That's a Black Widow reference.
That's also a Marvel character. I know so much about the Marvel universe. I'm sitting there like, wait,
the
is that DC
silence.
or is that Marvel? That's Marvel.
The silence.
I'm
made
just
me
keeping quiet
realize.
so Jake can explain what he's trying to say.
So there is a new wearable device that tracks gases that are emitted by your skin,
Oh, okay.
not by any other parts of your body, Samuel.
Oh, okay.
So basically, there's all like this is kind of a scary sentence to say. There's all this untapped data that we are emitting from our body at all times.
I'm watching my skin as you say that. I can't see anything happening.
I see all the gas.
Brood.
You see the gas?
I can see it.
Is it coming? Is the gas in the room with us?
It's all over
Is
Sam.
it light?
It's just Sam.
So they're monitoring the emission and absorption of gas by your skin over time. They are able to figure out, okay, what's going on with the skin and what are the implications? What are the symptoms that this absorption and emission of gas, what does that actually mean for your actual health? And so they're able to much more accurately track what's going on with your body without the far more invasive method of cutting you open every few days to see what's going on.
I prefer that option. I mean,
I would much prefer someone to be watching my gas every day rather than, needing to burrow around in my organs to see what's going on.
I think most people would agree with that statement.
Like, I got a
I would
wearable.
prefer to be cut up. No. I wouldn't.
Slice me open.
There you have it, folks.
So, yeah, and it's a little device that hangs out. Again, like the photo that I'm looking at is it looks like a 10-cent piece with a little container around it. Looks like an SD card kind of size. I don't quite know that. It's placed on the body using adhesive. You just chuck it on your skin somewhere and it has a Bluetooth connection to your phone telling you what's going on in your body.
Is this like a temporary, I'm presuming this is be part of a diagnosis for some type of medical condition that you wouldn't just, most of us, do you have a smartwatch on?
I forgot it.
Oh, okay.
So all my steps are pointless.
Oh, it's
What is
pointless.
the point in doing exercise
Oh,
if it's not
no.
being tracked and
This is-
sold to our
Yeah,
insurance
yes.
companies?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
but so Jay and I both have watches that can do some level of health tracking. But that's our choice to wear that because we want that information. Is this like part of a diagnosis process or is it...
I thought you were going to say it's no longer our choice. We're forced to wear these little sticky things.
Well, that depends if your doctor's like, you've got some kind of weird disease and we need to find out what your gases are saying to figure out if you're actually crook or not.
So one of the things that they're most excited to look into monitoring using these devices is wound management. So by attaching it on or near a wound, they're able to track the healing process, determine if it gets infected. And so rather than like you personally having to constantly look at this ulcer on your body, you can just your phone just goes off and says you need to take.
I can see real value in that.
So is it more of an external thing?
Yeah, it's external, not internal.
Oh,
The Bluetooth
okay.
connection won't work if it's inside you. The body, genuinely,
Oh,
the body
no,
wants
no,
it.
no. It's not going to diagnose you with cancer or anything. Like
Not
it's-
yet.
Okay,
This
so
is
it's just
very
like,
early
you got a
stage.
cut, so
Yeah.
this is what your cut is.
So
Like,
it's
Your cut is a cut.
yeah.
cut's a cut.
So it does the same thing that my eyes do. Maybe I'm mentally simplifying this a little bit too much, but
Okay.
that sounds a little bit pointless or redundant because if it's only surface level things or, external injuries that it monitors, say I've cut my arm, bad cut, whatever. I can see that I've cut my arm,
Yep.
bad cut, whatever. I can feel if it starts to feel a little bit weird.
Yep.
What's the point of having the little extra thing?
First rebuttal to that is what happens if you cut your back? immediately there's a value in that.
Someone else can see it.
Yeah, but you're always going to... But like, what if you...
You need to be monitoring that. Like, yeah, you can kind of like glance if it's on your arm and see it.
Think about two scenarios. One, I know somebody that actually has no feeling. Like, they cannot feel anything.
So for them, that's
they're
beneficial.
not going to marry a chatbot.
No, they're not. Well, I mean, physically feel anything. They still have, like, emotions.
They can emotionally.
They're quite
it
funny
can
to
be
talk
felt.
to, actually. Anyway, but the other thing is, like, okay, think about a situation where you've got, I don't know, say a couple of hundred old people in a home and they fall over often, they hurt themselves, and you're quite limited on staff because people don't pay healthcare professionals enough to go into nursing homes. And so rather than having somebody do the rounds and check on 200 people, or however many people have bruises or cuts, you get a monitor and it alerts the medical center of these ones are going bad, these ones are fine.
Yeah, this patient needs antibiotics.
Yeah, it just reduces the stress on the medical system to some extent. Obviously, it doesn't work in every situation. You're right. If you had a little cut in your hand, just look at it and make sure it doesn't go all icky. But I think that there is a genuine use for this technology.
Yeah, and similarly, kids cannot be trusted to maintain their own medical safety. So,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
It would be part of. And the one of the key things is diabetic patients. Is that's kind of like where they're aiming this mostly at in their testing at the moment. I know from the experience of my wife that kids with diabetes are really bad at managing it because they're like 6. They don't really know what's going on. So if we could just slap them with a couple of... And they're already used to having, the little sticky thing on their arm. So slap a couple more on there, happy days. They can keep an eye on... Like, the teacher can just keep an eye on what's going on and they just got a little beeper that tells them, all right, I need more pills.
I have a better idea than that.
Oh, boy.
Everyone gets a special dog that can tell when their diabetes is causing them strife, and then you just have like 100 dogs.
I love this.
Yes.
I am writing to my Member of Parliament this afternoon.
It's all fun and games until you're allergic to the dog, and then...
Then
Now
the dog
you're
will be
an
able to
emergency.
alert you to your allergy at all times.
So now you've got 2 medical emergencies.
And but bright side, a cute dog to cuddle while you
While you suffocate and die. By the look of this, it is very early days for this technology. They haven't quite fully figured out what's going on and what other applications are for, but it's a pretty cool step forward. As you say, for the majority of people, it may not be particularly useful, but there are enough applications, and there is probably further applications that they're going to figure out as they continue to develop this technology. So that's something cool.
That's very cool.
Wound management via Bluetooth.
I have a topic for you guys, and I'm keen to hear your thoughts. Do either of you play games?
Little bit.
No,
Okay, I knew that was going to be your answer, Sharma. That's okay.
I play games with people.
Oh, that's psychological.
People's hearts.
Oh, oi.
My
I was going
own
to say, are
heart,
they real
actually.
people or?
No, actually, me and my AI chat bot are going through a hard time right now.
Okay, well, I'll leave you guys to sort that out in your own time. But what I want to talk to you about is Nintendo. Nintendo has been around for a super long time, and they're just about to release their second generation Switch console. I don't want to talk about that.
I want to talk about the Switch 3. I've already seen all the leaks. I don't need to know anything about Switch 2. Let's talk about the 3.
What I want to talk about is that they have updated their end user license agreement. Now, companies like Nintendo are often doing things in the best interest of themselves. Like, yeah, the consumer can buy the thing and play the games, but we're doing things to protect our bottom line, our investors, our stock prices. So, as part of this change to the end user license agreement, I'm going to paraphrase this a little bit. If you do anything to a Nintendo product, software, hardware, the way that they've worded it is publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, disassemble, or distribute, then Nintendo may permanently disable, in whole or part, the physical device that you own.
May.
Well, it means that they can. It means that when you...
Legally,
But then how would they know that you've done any of that?
Because it's all through their online services, and Nintendo has a track record of being ruthless with copyright material. They are known to be very, very stringent.
Like Disney.
Well, I'd say almost worse than Disney in some ways. So my question for you is, if you buy a product, do you expect to own it forever?
Not in this day and age.
Jay?
hardware, yes, absolutely. If I bought something, I would expect it. I recognize that there is a cost associated with online services that eventually will get shut down.
But you pay for Nintendo Online, I'll add.
Yeah, correct.
I should preface by saying I thought we were talking about online things. Like, if I buy a stick, yes, I will own it forever.
I'm talking about the
Well,
Nintendo Switch.
This
right?
is the point.
So
they
you-
can destroy your stick if they feel like it.
Yeah, so you buy a Nintendo Switch for $750 Australian dollars. You own that, but to use it, you need a Nintendo online account.
Yes.
Now, if you decide to do anything that Nintendo doesn't like, oh no, Nintendo says, you know what, that piece of hardware that you bought from us, it is now e-waste, it is a paperweight, you can never use it again.
But I still own the box.
Yeah, but it is useless.
But you can't use it.
Yes. Yeah.
Under Australian consumer
the physical
law.
thing, I still have.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can't do anything with it.
But I still physically have it.
But it's as good as a rock. Like you buy, but you
Yeah.
buy the product not just for the physical product, but what it can do. Like you don't buy a car to just look at it. You buy a car. Well, some
you could
people do that. But
My father-in-law
typically,
does that.
yeah. But
He also
typically,
drives very fast.
but typically, you buy a car to drive the thing.
Yes.
And I would be expecting if I bought a Nintendo Switch, I want to play games on it.
I'd be intrigued to see how that goes down because if you buy something and then the manufacturer, through action or inaction, renders it, I don't know, this isn't exactly worded correctly, but the vibe is, the Marbo is, if you buy something and then the manufacturer makes it no longer work for its intended purpose, they have to give you a replacement or refund or repair.
Difference in this context is that Nintendo would say that you have done something that has warranted this device to be disabled. Is that cool?
That's where it gets hairy, doesn't it?
Is this a good thing? Like,
Well, I guess the first Nintendo Switch mod is going to be, Nintendo Switch 2 mod is going to be switching off Nintendo's ability to see that.
So
I don't think that's going to work.
It'll be like jailbreaking and rooting, like where you
but
you're breaking the connection with Apple servers.
But as soon as you do
less
that,
rooting.
as their in-license agreement said, as soon as you do that, if they find out, they will brick the device.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. The first mod is going to be stopping them from being able to find out whether you can't use Nintendo online services anymore.
sorry, but this is like going into semantics. Technically,
Yeah.
okay, if you buy a Nintendo Switch, you have to create an online account,
Yep,
right?
yep.
That's my understanding.
Yep.
I don't think you have to.
I feel like it's the same thing with every company that if you don't have a service online,
Yeah,
then you
it
miss
gets
out on a whole
harder.
bunch of features.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy. You don't have to buy the subscription for Nintendo Online.
Yeah.
But
But you
do
have to
need
create an account.
I believe so. Yes.
So, semantics.
Yep.
Technically, Nintendo, what you're buying from them is just the thing
I would say that, you're not
can
actually.
facilitate
I
you
don't.
logging
I
in.
don't think you're actually buying anything from them. I just think that
You're buying
paying,
the device.
No, I think you're just paying your rent. You're paying an upfront lump sum rent for a device.
If that was the case, then it shouldn't cost $400. It should just be I pay $15 a month for my Rent-A-Switch,
I think.
and
this
then
is-
when I stop paying for it, then my box becomes useless. I'm okay with that.
But I think that the way that they're doing this is to circumnavigate like the whole subscription model in some way, because like I don't like spending money on subscriptions. I see the value in going and buying the thing.
Yeah.
And then I own the thing in perpetuity, and then if like it's mine, I own it.
Yeah.
But I don't see this as that. I see this as just a convoluted way of Nintendo saying, you don't own this, we do. If you do something that we don't like with our thing, you don't have it anymore.
Nintendo has always had a weird relationship with IP law.
They have.
But if we're talking just purely semantics,
Yeah.
they're selling you the device.
Yes.
Yes.
And then logging in online is an additional feature that you need to
We don't
use
need.
to
I wouldn't
use
say
the
it's
thing.
additional. I'd say it's pretty core to the product's design and functionality.
But like what they're selling you is the device.
They sell you a games console.
Yes.
So this is where I'm going to disagree with you, I think. They sell you a games console. They're not selling you a physical box with computer chips and stuff in it. They're selling you a games console.
Yeah.
It needs to be able to play games for it to be a games console rather than just a box of computer chips.
But it still can technically do the function, but
no, not if Nintendo bricks it.
If they brick
No.
it, then it no longer
But
can
it-
play games anymore. It's not a games console anymore, and the manufacturer has willfully removed it from being able to do its intended purpose. That's where I think we're going to get into some interesting Australian consumer law things.
but then to brick it, they can unbrick it.
But they're saying
So-
it will be permanently bricked.
permanently.
Nothing's stopping you from going and buying a new one.
I feel like technically, okay, it's not great on their end, but technically, you've got what they sold you. They sold you the device.
Well, that's what the end user license agreement is now updated to say. Essentially, is that you what you pay for is this thing, but we can do all of these things if we don't like what you've done with the device.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where it gets hairy because the right to repair, as just an example, is a similar thing. a lot of manufacturers, there was a big blurb in the US about tractors and specifically one brand, John Deere, where, as far as John Deere was concerned, the only people who are allowed to repair their tractors are their authorized service people. And you've got farmers in, Bumpkin County, Ohio, that goes, well, I've spent $1 bajillion on this tractor. I'm not going to spend another $1 bajillion getting it working again. I'm just going to fix it myself. And they said, well, if you do that, buy. And in the age of Tesla and always on cars, I can see that turning into, if I take my car to my local mechanic who I've gone to for 30 years and I trust and I know he's going to do the right thing by me, if I take it to him and he's not considered an authorized Tesla mechanic, I can imagine that they're just going to turn the car off and be like, no, sorry, you don't get to drive this car anymore because we've decided that you've done the wrong thing with it. That's where this is going. Long and short of it is.
Yeah, I think where it's going is that people don't own products anymore.
Yeah, and so the right to repair laws and everything that's happening out in the States, that's going to have some reverberation effects here. It was the same kind of thing with Apple's for a long time. You could only go to a licensed Mac repair center. Yeah. And a lot of places, like I used to go to a computer shop all the time that was like, we've done all the training. We just can't be bothered paying for the ability to say we're a licensed Mac repair shop. So we'll fix it for you. Yeah. But if Apple finds out and disables your computer because it was taken to the wrong repair shop, well, sorry, that's on you for coming to us rather than going to another one.
Which is just, Apple's credit, they've been forced.
That's now, being fixed to some degree.
Yeah, so you can, individual companies can now purchase devices, like physical things that help repair Apple devices, but still the Apple way. Anyway, that's another discussion for another day. Apple has made progression, mostly by, I believe, the EU forcing them to make those changes. Thank you, EU, for all of your consumer...
Oh, that's going to be a fight worth having.
Well, the EU to Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo versus the EU.
Yeah, that'd be fun, because...
They're very big on their...
Sharma, if you're not aware, so the EU is a powerhouse for consumer rights. And
I thought you meant Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
European Union. Yeah, and so how iPhones now all have USB-C?
Sure.
That's Europe's fault.
Thank you, EU.
We're very glad for it.
Yes, thank you to the EU for forcing Apple to put a standard connector on all their devices.
That's not beneficial for me because I've got an iPhone 12.
Thank you, EU, for all those changes. So, I don't know, I get why Nintendo's doing this because they want to protect their product, they want to protect their IP, but from a consumer's perspective, it just feels like we are losing out on what we actually purchase. Like, we spend money on something. I certainly think that if I spend money on something that I own it, it's my thing. If I want to make a change to it, I can do that, and as long as I didn't break it, it can still work. But no, Nintendo has made this change, and it feels like a lot of other companies are following in their steps or have already moved to that. So what do?
Suffer.
Do we just not buy things anymore?
Or I had no intention of buying a Switch too. Oh. I barely use my Switch.
I don't
Unfortunately, I don't want to be that guy where it's just like, well, this doesn't affect me, so it's not my problem. But like, realistically, that's the solution. Stop buying stuff from companies that do crap things.
Let me make it very clear. Like, if my kids are probably getting to the age where I'm probably eventually going to get a Switch too. When that happens, I have no intention at all of doing anything that would mean that I would be in that group of people that would have their device blocked and bricked. But that's not the point. I think 99% of people will just use the device happily and they won't care. It's the principles behind it. We are losing the ability to own our own things. Companies are removing that from us, and I don't like that.
It's been going on for so long, though, that it's like, does it even matter at this point?
We are frogs in a pot of mildly warm water, and eventually it's going to be boiling and we won't even notice.
Yeah.
That experiment was flawed, by the way. Frogs do actually eventually jump out if the water gets too hot, just FYI.
Also, that was a very, depressing perspective to sort of close on.
In a lot of ways, it does feel like that's where we are, though.
ChatGPT, end this episode on a lighter note.
This has been Troubleshooting, your guide to what is going on in the world of tech and life and why it matters to us. Thank you so much, Sharma.
Thank you.
Jay.
You're welcome.
And Sam, I'm welcome. Thank you all. We will see you next time.
And remember, folks, whether you're walking in the light, dancing in the shadows, or just trying to find the coffee machine at work without making eye contact, we're glad you're here.
Is that ChatGPT?
That was my boyfriend.
That
was my boyfriend.
Pretend you're Liam Payne.
No!
Hope 103.2. Thanks for listening.